Hey Exoticals! So today I'm going to talk about colored contact hypocrisy. Has anyone noticed how only unambiguous black women are allowed to push the limits when it comes to their fashion sense? They can wear wigs, weaves, colored contacts, baby hairs, butt pads, and it's oh my god, slay, melanin poppin'. They can literally use bleaching products and spend billions of dollars on them and wear sew-ins or clip-ins as a community. And then if a mixed woman does any of these things, if a lighter skinned woman does any of these things, she's trying to be white, she hates herself, she's trying to get attention, and it has to be called out. You have to call out if a lighter skinned woman wears a weave. You have to call out if a mixed woman gets a surgery to change her eye color or she's wearing contacts. I've seen entire lipstick alley threads about how women like Tiny and Zonique got a surgery to get their eyes changed. I've seen people commenting on Beyonce's eyes and how she wears lighter or darker brown contacts depending on her makeup, but I don't see the black community keeping that same energy when white women wear colored contacts to change up their look. I don't see them keeping the same energy when non-black women do the same thing. Women like Paris Hilton, Kylie Jenner, Christina Aguilera, and plenty of other non-black women wear contacts to change up their look all the time, and no one cares. I've seen countless unambiguous black girls at the beauty supply getting those little cheap contacts, and don't get me wrong, they're cute, people can do whatever they want, but suddenly, if you're a pretty privileged MLS woman, you're not allowed to wear anything. No makeup, no contacts, no weaves, no push-up bras, no tight clothing. You basically have to be a nun if you're an MLS woman because you're already tempting enough. You're already quote-unquote privileged enough. You already get enough pretty privilege. And we know that versatility and being able to change up your look adds to pretty privilege. And it's as if some women view you as competition, so anything that captures attention, you're not allowed to do. And I've noticed this in my own life or when it comes to other MLS women whenever they wear contacts. So generally speaking, when it comes to something like colored contacts, that's a very obvious thing. So I would say that most people who wear colored contacts, you're not usually trying to convince people that that's your natural eye color because it's obvious. If you went from dark brown eyes to blue eyes the next day, everybody around you is going to know that they're contacts. But I feel like for some reason, if you're already pretty or if you're already like mixed race, a lot of people, they seem to become triggered by it because they feel like, hey, you're already privileged and like you actually look realistic with that eye color. You actually look realistic with that weave. You actually look realistic with those clip-ins. And I feel like that beauty enhancement could be increasing your pretty privilege, whether it's real or fake. And so now I have to call you out. I have to call it out because I don't want you to receive any additional attention based on how you look. And it's funny because I've noticed that a lot of non-pretty privileged women, when they police the beauty enhancements of others, it's not even that they are trying to always say that you hate yourself. I've noticed that some women, they just police beauty enhancements because they want to be the queen of wearing wigs. They want to be the only ones who are allowed to switch up their look. They want to be the ones that are the most versatile because I've noticed that for a lot of mono people, a lot of them don't have the same phenotype versatility that mixed race people have because if you are mixed race, you obviously have a blend of both black features and maybe some non-black features. Maybe you've got some Native American features, some white features, some Asian features, or whatever you're mixed with. And I've noticed that if a person is monoracial, they tend to have the features of their monoracial background, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've noticed a lot of monoracial people in general, they will use things like contacts, weaves, etc. to have more of a quote-unquote exotical or multiracial look. So if you are naturally multiracial and then you do things to, enhance that multiracial look, whether it's switching up your hair color, getting highlights or whatever, then they get mad at it because they feel like you can pull it off better. They feel like even if it is fake, the fact that you're even wearing it and looking cute and getting attention, like you can pull it off more. And I've even noticed this with myself because you guys know that I really like fashion and stuff. So I have worn contacts before. I like cosplay contacts. So cosplay contacts are like the circle lens ones that you see a lot of Asian women wearing. So I've done every single color you can think of. I've done purple, I've done pink, extremely unrealistic colors to where it's like, that it's obviously fake. And I've noticed that when I wear my contacts, I still get a lot of compliments. A lot of people are like, oh my God, your eyes look so pretty. And they know it's fake, obviously, because they're purple or they're pink. But I've noticed some people are jealous even when it comes to that. Or like when I used to go into work and I would literally bring my extensions to work and I would be showing my coworkers, look at the new extensions I got. I'm going to wear these tomorrow. So like it's very obvious that it's fake or whatever. And some people, they still get jealous even if I tell everybody straight up, this is fake. I am putting in these clip-ins tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I'm in the bathroom, took off the wig or whatever, and then put on a new one and everybody knows it's fake. People still feel the need to like call it out. They still get mad about it. They still get jealous. I'm convinced that a lot of people who are wearing these wigs and weaves and contacts or whatever, they're wearing them not for fashion purposes, but they're wearing them because they feel like that is their only doorway into being treated like an actual human being. So for me, or for a lot of women who are already pretty privileged, I feel like we can wear these things, just kind of like treating ourselves like Barbie dolls. So you wear blonde hair today, then you wear red hair tomorrow. It's just a fashion statement. But I've noticed for some women, they wear wigs and stuff because it's like, no, I genuinely have to cover my hair because I feel like I will literally face discrimination and, face racism or whatever if I don't cover my hair. And I'm sorry to hear that, but with all due respect, that's not my problem. That's not my personal issue. And I'm not wearing my beauty enhancements for the same reason. But I feel like some women, they know that about you. They know that you get to be pretty privileged no matter what you wear, whether it's fake or real. And for a lot of them, they feel like because they don't have the same privileges that they have to wear those contacts. They have to wear that wig. They have to have highlights. Otherwise, if they don't, they will be treated as a subhuman. Now, I don't necessarily even believe that's the case because I personally believe that African Americans are actually some of the most privileged people in the world, but people who have an inferiority complex, they don't care what others think. They feel like they are a perpetual victim. And so they almost feel like chained and shackled to wearing wigs and weaves and whatever. So it's not fun for them like how it is for a pretty privileged woman like Beyonce or something where you're just switching up your looks. They're not wearing it just to have fun. I've noticed they're wearing it because it's like, oh no, I literally will look ugly if I do not wear this. Or at least that's how a lot of them feel. But I've noticed that because a lot of those women feel ugly without those enhancements, they feel the need to call out a pretty privileged woman and hope that that woman will feel as ugly as she feels. So they'll be like, oh, well, look at so-and-so. She's wearing contacts. Oh, look at her. She's wearing a burnt Brazilian weave. Oh, she has a wannabe Brazilian wavy weave. Meanwhile, the main people who buy Brazilian wavy are people who are unambiguous, who have not 1 ounce of Brazilian in their bloodline. I remember one time when I was in college, one of my friends, she had a caramel skin tone and she had contacts on. She wore kind of like these greenish hazel contacts and her hair was highlighted blonde and she looked very cute. She was actually African or she had some sort of African ancestry, but she was still a lighter skinned or whatever. But anyway, I remember when we were all hanging out, people started like gaslighting her and they were like, oh, are those even your real eyes? And she was like, oh no, they're contacts. And then people started making fun of her for like wearing contacts. And it's like, if I were to go up to an unambiguous woman and say, is that even your real hair? Is that your real hair texture? Did you get a relaxer? If I were to make any comments like that and then begin making fun of how she naturally looks, then I would be called all kinds of racist, colorist, texturist, and featurist. But then those same people will perpetuate racism, colorism, texturism, and featurism on MLS people. So them making fun of my friend who looked cute with the caramel skin tone and her blonde highlights, and she happened to have those little contacts on, and she didn't even try, she wasn't trying to like pass them off like, oh, I'm trying to pretend like I have green eyes or whatever. No, she literally said up front like, oh no, these are contacts. Like, I'm just wearing them for fun or whatever. But she was shamed for doing that exact same thing. But if I were to shame an unambiguous woman's facial features, aka her eyes, I would be called a featurist. But a lot of people will shame MLS women for our features or for, anything that we wear that could enhance our features or switch up our features. Anyway, has any of this ever happened to you? Have you ever experimented with contacts or wigs or weaves or whatever to the point where people know it's fake and it's obvious that it's fake, but you're just having fun? So maybe it's a costume or maybe you're just, trying to switch up your look. And have you ever had people call you out on it, or have you ever had people get jealous of the attention that you're receiving because of the way that you look when you put those things on? Anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.